Okay, Dhana Yogas from moon. So all the Dhana Yogas, if you're looking at Dhana Yogas, okay, please consider moon first. Okay, look at the moon in the horoscope. Try to understand the second house from the moon. Take your D1 chart, look at the second lord from the moon and see how it is placed. Forget the planets placed inside the second house from the moon, but take the second lord, see how is it placed. Okay. So what does it mean is, does it have many planets in quadrants to it? So you have identified the second lord from the moon. Now you are checking, does that planet have any planets in quadrants to him to support that planet? Okay. So if you have more planets to support that planet, it means that you need financial help anytime, you will get help with, it can be loan, or it can be, it can be due to the work that you do, everything. You wanted money, you will get the money. You don't have many planets in quadrants to that planet, then you would struggle to get that money. Okay, either as a loan or as a survival thing, you will struggle to get money because you don't have enough planets in quadrants to the second lord of the moon. Look at that second lord from the moon. Try to understand, is it making any yogas, especially the Kendra Kona yogas. That means Kendras are 4, 7, and 10. Konas are 1, 5, 9. If that planet happens to be one of the Kendra lord, and if it unites with another Kona lord, and also has many more planets to support it, then that becomes a big yoga. The person will find money from here or there. Okay. It can be a loan as well. Okay, do not think the person is going to be rich or anything. Sometimes what happens is you need, there can be situations where people like, had I had 1,000 rupees of money in my hand, I would have done that. Okay, you will get to hear a lot of people saying this. Had I had 1,000 rupees, let's suppose 2005 is the year, and somebody says, had I had 1,000 rupees in my hand, my life would have been very different. Okay, you will get to hear such people. So you get that, as a loan at least. Okay. I'm not saying this is going to make you a rich person like Ambani or anything. Okay. For Ambani or Adani, you need a lot of combinations. I'm not trying to say that. I'm only trying to say that the second lord from the moon has enough support. It is going to help you to fetch money from somewhere. Okay. And if this particular planet also involves in yogas with second, 9, 11 houses, either by the disposition or somehow, if it falls into 2, 9, 11 houses as well, it indicates a stable money or inheritance or constant rise in life. The person is going upwards in life. Okay. 9th, second houses can say that the person has got inheritance from the father. Okay. So things like that. In the above combinations, if you have 6, 8, 12 houses or house lords also involved, it means that there are upheavals. Okay, so suddenly there is money and suddenly there is no money. Okay, so there are upheavals in life with respect to the money that he is earning or getting all through. Also look at the Navamsha placement of the same second lord of the D1 from the moon. So we found the moon, second lord from the moon is checked in Navamsha. Okay, look at the Rashi Tulya Navamsha. Rashi Tulya Navamsha means take the Navamsha chakra, Navamsha horoscope, and assume that the Lagna of the D1 is in the D9. So you forget the D9 Lagna, use the same Lagna as in the D1 chart and try to understand how is the placement. Again, if you have the Kendra Kona and also you have the many planets in quadrants to it, 1, 4, 7, 10 to the planet, then you have higher chances of fetching money from here or there. Okay. And also look at it from the Rashi. So also look at it from the Navamsha Lagna. If more combinations are proving positive, the more is the chance of getting required money in time. Okay. And also check the same person, the same lord, the second lord from the moon of the D1 chart back in the D10 chart as well, the Dashamsha chart also. Okay, if this person, if this is exalted, or if this is making yogas, okay, then you have a rise in the life due to the career of the person. Okay, even if he's born in a poor family, if you have an exalted planet, of this particular planet is exalted, or you have more planets in quadrants to it, or you have a very good placement of this planet, or making Raja Yogas, etc., like the Kendra Kona combination, 2 9 11 combination, etc., the person is actually will go up in the ladder. 6 8 12 placements may struggle in the D10 chart, but if let us suppose the person is a doctor, a surgeon, right? So you will have 6 8 houses involved. Sixth house is treating people's problems, eighth house is surgery. So you need to have both these combinations for the doctor as a surgeon. Okay, so just be careful if you see these. Even despite the thing that 6 8 12 are involved, the placement will be like it is an exalted planet in the eighth house. So the person is going upwards in life, or it is an own house planet in the eighth house. Sometimes they may not be own house or exalted, but you have to take your call based on the profession, whether if it is in tune with uh, what the planet is saying. Okay. And you have a little more about the moon. I'll complete this in the next 15 minutes, then you can have questions. Okay. More important things about the moon is moon sign lord. Wherever your moon is placed, right? Let us suppose your moon is in Sagittarius. Okay. So now Jupiter becomes the lord of the moon sign. This Jupiter has to be well placed in the D1 chart from the Lagna, right? So he's called as the Subhapati, right? Subhapati is the moon sign lord. He has to be well placed from the Lagna to get comforts in life. If this lord of the moon is in 6, 8, 12, sustaining Raj Yogas, sustaining the comforts, etc., can become difficult unless the Navamsha, etc., are showing it otherwise. So the person may get a position, promotion, but he is not able to sustain it. Okay, he falls back. Okay. However, these are simple things, so it is quick. You may check a few things in your horoscope. Sometimes it may so happen that you're doing very good, but it shows up in the 6 8 12. So I'm not saying you have this placement of 3 6 8 12. It does not mean that they're not going to sustain. There are cancellations for this in 100 ways. Okay. All right. There is also kemadruma yoga. The kemadruma yoga we've talked about in the last class. To give you a simple, fast gist of this, no planets in the second and no planets in the 12th from the moon, and no planet in conjunction to moon, and also no planets in the quadrants from the Lagna. This is kemadruma yoga. Because why moon needs planets in the second or the 12th house is moon needs direction. Moon works only with partnerships. So moon needs, because moon is water, you have to build a wall for the water to stop. Otherwise, water will run away, run off. So you need planets in the 12th house and the second house or alongside moon for the walls to be built around it. Okay. And Kendras from Lagna also will help moon, because moon will draw energy from there. We will talk about these things when we talk about Vimshottari Dasha, which will come up maybe 7 8 months later. Okay, these things will help them. And when moon is in Kemadrum Yoga, at least if the moon is placed in Jupiterian signs or Saturnine signs like the Sagittarius, Pisces, Capricorn, Aquarius, these signs are, these signs may still help the moon. Otherwise, the moon, if it is placed in other signs, then there is more Kemadrum Yoga. Okay. Benefits from the moon. So 6, 7, 8 signs from the moon are very, very important signs. The benefits are Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter and moon. Everybody knows that. So if you have from the 6, 7, and 8 signs, if you have Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter, okay, if all three are there in 6, 7, and 8, it's a big Raj Yoga in itself, because the person can transform himself very quickly There is a mistake, right? The biggest problem with the human mind is it will not agree that it has committed a mistake, because there is ego in people, right? People do not want to agree that, look, I committed a mistake, let me correct myself. It's difficult to commit to it that I have done a mistake. So what happens to that? Then the person, displays resistance to change. If you have malefics in the 6th, 7th, and 8th, especially in the 8th house, if you have big malefics in the 8th house from the moon, it's difficult to change, because moon is the manas, and resistance to change comes from the 8th house. You have better planets like the Jupiter or the Mercury, or if it is empty, at least then also it is easy to change. If you have Saturn, Mars, Rahu, Sun, these planets show rigidity because they show the stability as well. So they are rigid. So sometimes you need rigidity. So there, those planets will work from, but from the 8th house of the moon, where flexibility is needed to adapt to situations, because mind has to adapt. You have committed a mistake. Now you have to get out of it only when you realize that, and or agree upon that, look, I have done something wrong, let me correct myself. When will that happen? Only if you have the flexibility of your mind. Okay. Also, the 7th house, planets in the 7th house from the moon will aspect moon and tell moon, look, I am here, so I'm watching you, you become me, and you work like me. Okay, I'm giving you the instructions, now you work for me. Or you may strategize and I will work for you. Okay, so they can exchange that thing. Okay, so in this case as well, what people opine is having malefics can bring in, dissatisfaction. Having benefics will bring you satisfaction. So this is a big statement. You have to understand it carefully. Dissatisfaction would mean the person is not satisfied and constantly trying to thrive, strive, and come up in life. This is also a good thing sometimes. If the person is not a rich man, because Parashara was writing this 5,000 years ago, that time it was written for kings, and he's a rich man. If rich man is struggling, what does it mean? He lost his money, right? He lost his kingdom. So it's a bad yoga. Today it's not so. A poor man is struggling. Why? Because he's trying to go up the ladder. It's a good thing. Use it for today's conditions. Okay, that is when you'll understand these yogas. Otherwise, you'll confuse within yourselves, saying, "Look, the planets are badly placed in this chart, and why is he going up? And planets very well placed are why he's not going up? Because well placed planets will bring in complacency. The person is happy, so the person doesn't want to work." And this world is challenging. The world is becoming more and more competitive. So more challenging planets in your horoscope, more you're trying to work towards them, and more comforts you'll bring in for yourself. Yes, for sure, your mind is occupied, you are unhappy, you want to achieve it. Yes, that is all agreed, right? But you are actually going up the ladder. So it depends on how you look at it. If you are a saint and you're looking only for satisfaction and leaving everything in the world, yes, you need planets which are very comfortably placed, right? Okay, I think this is what is the whole lecture all about. Anybody has any questions, comments? Happy to answer them. Informative? Yeah, Ustad.
So I joined the lecture a little late today, but I joined at my moon's position, moon in sixth house.
Okay.
So I have a feedback to share. You said these people struggle with the routine. That is correct.
Right.
And yes, these people, or you said these people also struggle to be generally happy in life.
Correct.
So yes, that is also correct. I uh, find very hard to attend marriages and be just generally happy in normal things like people will drink, smoke, and be happy.
Yeah, you are in my league. I also have sixth moon.
So,
Yeah.
yes, I am happy to help. That is also a thing which you can have. Very
Hmm.
happy to solve other people's problem.
Right. That is what Krishna did.
And my name is also a synonym of Krishna. So,
Same
that is
here.
also. So that is also there. And one thing is very counterintuitive, which you have told in the lecture today, that eighth from the moon, if benefits are there, it is good, and you are easily accept your mistakes. You are very easy to accept your mistakes. And
Easy
if
to transform because eighth house is transformation. Your mind will transform. Your mind will
okay,
transform only if you allow it to transform, right? Eighth house will stop you from transformation and display rigidity if you have
so but
difficult planets in the eighth house.
generally it is said by almost everybody that planets which are malefic are welcome in the malefic houses like 6, 8, 12.
That's from the
They
Lagna.
work better.
That's from
Oh,
the
so it
Lagna.
from the moon Saumya Graha will work.
Yes, yes. 6, 8, 7, 8 moons placements are different because Lagna is different, moon is different.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you also said that planets in the Kendra from the second lord of the moon
Yeah.
will bring in the resources if the person needs. So
Yeah.
in my case, moon is in Gemini in the sixth house, and it is the seventh lord, and second lord is Mercury, which is sitting in the second.
No, no, no,
No,
no.
second lord is moon itself.
Yes, correct. Now you have to
Moon
find out.
itself.
Now you have to find out how many planets are in, Kendras to moon.
It is Venus, which is in Kendra from
That itself is
moon.
enough.
Yes, so I have a story to tell that my wife gave me the money to start my business.
Okay.
So, so that also applies.
Hmm.
It is quite correct. And else, I was finding it very hard until I was married. I was finding it very hard to get the money for my work. As soon as she gave me the money, my work just took off, and other people came in, and I had to stop that. Please don't give me any more money. I don't have time to handle all this. So that is very correct.
Hmm. Okay.
That's what I had to share.
Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Vemuri.
No, sir, I'm fine. Yeah, it applies to me also. My moon is in 11th house and I can correlate it.
Okay. Can you share what is that? Your name is not being spelled here, so if you're okay to share, what is that? What is it applying?
I trust easily people, others.
Okay.
I believe them very easily. That is one of the traits that applies there.
Okay. Okay. So you can be flattered by people.
Flattered by people, yeah, maybe.
Okay.
But only thing is I don't boost myself much
Okay.
or talk of it, but I trust people or others very quickly.
Okay. Good.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, beta. Yes.
I have fourth house moon, so I can definitely relate to it. My mother is very powerful, and yes, it's dispositor in seventh house. It's in Capricorn, and Saturn is retro in seventh house. So she is deciding whom should I marry. She is very much concerned about this thing, and yes, I was about to join a job 1 year ago, but I have to join from Monday. But she said, I am alone and please come and help me. I can't manage alone. So
Okay. Okay.
that's the one thing. And
Okay.
yes, she is very much matlab, she's very much involved in my life. That's she's important for me too.
Right. Right.
And whenever I disobey her, I have a lot of problems in my life. So I
Ah.
have started obeying her after my teenage. I was so it's better now.
Okay. Good.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So I can also share one, incident regarding my, not necessarily incident, but basically one of my traits. So I
I
have
think
dealt with.
your voice is not very clear. Maybe you have to be a little louder.
Hello, sir. Is it better?
Yes, it's a little better. Yes.
Okay, sir. So I have a delimited moon in seventh house. So I've noticed that I have a hard time saying no when it comes to professional favors or from my workplace. So I think that matches well. So it's usually the reason I do it is usually because I want to preserve the professional relationship. So I think that also kind of matches with the characters of moon.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, I had
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
okay.
You had what?
I have one question from last class. You mentioned that moon is salt is represented by moon.
Hmm.
But um,
Salt
I
is
have
represented by
heard that
Saturn also.
yes,
Yeah, both.
what it's black salt is Saturn and white salt is moon. That's what I
No. There are so many salts, right? Because sodium chloride is a salt. There are so many salts like that. So even moon can contribute because any salt is dissolvable in water. So basically, moon represents salt. Any water you take, there are always dissolved impurities of salt. So if you're taking water, there is a dissolved salt. That is what it means.
okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
I have a Scorpion moon. So I always, and the Dispositor Mars is in 8 to itself. So I always thought, I had a feeling that I am the enemy for myself because of things which I do, I make mistake and
No,
I,
what is your lagna? Your lagna is Mesha, your Aries.
no, my Lagna also is Scorpion. Moon is in Scorpion.
You have a first moon. Okay. Lagna moon you have.
Yeah, Lagna moon. And the Dispositor of moon is in 8 to itself. And 8 to Lagna as well.
Okay.
So I always had felt that I myself am an enemy to myself. So my thinking till now was because Mars is the dispositor of first house as well as sixth house. So I thought, okay, the person himself is the enemy to himself. So now that you said when it is in eighth house, like the change is difficult. Like why I felt is because I know I made this mistake, but changing is very difficult. To change something, the mistakes which I have done.
I'll ask you one simple question. Do you have allergies, skin allergies?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Try to do some Narasimha puja and also do some
It's been there for long, like psoriasis kind of, only on certain area, like autoimmune.
Oh, you also have autoimmune. So you have Mercury, Mars, both problem you have. I think the reason is yourself. You have to come out. Are you trying to be in the isolation? Are you not trying to meet more people?
No, I'm totally, recently I'm like 10, 15 years, I don't like meeting people at all.
That is the problem. You have to come out and meet people.
It's very difficult to talk to
Where
people.
is the Mercury?
Mercury is in ninth, like Cancer.
Visit public places. Okay. Go to places where there is crowd. I think you dislike crowd. That is the problem.
I don't like the crowd at all.
Yeah, go out into the crowd, talk to people, talk to mother, talk to cousins, talk to your extended family. You're not talking to any of them. It's all only because of that. All your skin disease is also because of that.
Okay.
Talk to
And I
more
think
people.
I'm running Moon Mahadasha, I think, currently.
No matter what runs, because your base energy comes from the D1 chart, and you have confirmed that you have the skin issues. The more you talk to people, The more the Mercury is stronger, because Mercury is very, very bad now. That is the problem. Mercury is in the Cancer sign.
And
Okay.
last time, sir, you mentioned like Cancer being overcrowded. I have 4 planets in Cancer.
That means you have to go into the crowd.
Okay.
I think you're hiding yourself or something like that. Don't hide from people. Go
Yeah.
ahead in the public and talk to everyone. Nobody bothers who you are. Just go into the public.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Ustad.
So you said that if there is no planet in 2 and 12 from the moon, it will lack support and it will form kemadruma yoga.
Yeah.
So my question is it better to have a moon with Rahu like planet or a moon alone without having any planet in 212 from itself?
Okay. Einstein does not have any planet in 212. Einstein also has 6th house moon. Okay.
Okay,
I'll
but
explain. Wait. So in the time of Rishi Parashara, what happened is, people are destined to follow a path. You're born to a Brahmin, you become a Brahmin. You're born to a potter, you become a potter. You're born to a Vaishya, you become a Vaishya. That's how it is. In today's world, it's not like that. So if your moon is controlled by if you build up walls around your manas, what happens is your mind will not think out of it. Okay, out of box thinking was not allowed 5,000 years ago for certain. There are reasons why, because if you compare the societies of those days and these days, there will be two sets of people. One set of people will say those days are very good. There are one set of people who will say these days are very good. Okay, both will have positives, both will have negatives. In those days, it was believed that going out of your profession was bad. Going out of what you're doing and doing something else is bad. So that's why moon, if your manas goes out of box thinking, it was not allowed. Today, in today's world, the more the out of box you are, the more you're better at thinking. Right?
right.
Okay,
And
so kemadruma yoga may also give you an out of box thinking. Even that is possible, provided you have good planets in the kendras from the lagna. If you don't have planets from the kendra from lagna, also it can lead into a what is that called? Balarishti yogas, where the life itself is in danger. You can somebody can meet with an accident and he may die. No planets in kendras to moon, no planets in kendras to lagna, no planets on both sides of moon is a yoga for not having enough ayush. Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
this is very good information. And one more thing, like planets like Rahu Ketu need grahas to perform or
So
have strength.
okay, I'll come to the Chaya Grahas. So Kemadruma Yoga does not include Rahu, Ketu, and Sun.
Uh,
Okay. Kemadruma Yoga does not include Rahu, Ketu, and Sun. Even if Moon is having 12th house Sun, 12th house Sun or 12th house Rahu, along with Moon Rahu, or Moon in the second house, Moon has Rahu, none of them are counted.
okay,
Only planets other than Sun, Rahu, and Ketu should be in the second or 12th, or at least along with the Moon.
okay,
Because Chaya Grahas do not have physical presence, right? How would you build a wall?
yes,
You need material, because Chaya Grahas are shadow planets. They can only cast shadow. There is no material in it. So they cannot build a wall.
okay,
Clear?
okay.
So
What?
sometimes Kemadruma Yoga can make you a person who is completely out of box thinker.
Yes,
But the only challenge with that person is that days, let us suppose if I say that, there is a galaxy which is 100,000, light years away, and we can travel in 10 minutes from here. People will regard me as a fool if I was talking this about, even today, if I talk that 10 minutes is impossible. You cannot go. right? You're not traveling. We have not even reached the speed of light. But you may travel because people believe. Because 200 years ago, had I said you can travel to the US in 20 years, for 20 hours from India, people would laugh at you. We don't even know where US was. So out of box thinking may sound like a foolish fellow for today. That is why the yoga said unintelligent. The person does not have intelligence. Okay, first thing is poor, unintelligent. Kemadruma
Okay.
yoga is poor, unintelligent, unlucky. All that. If you just toggle this up, it shows you. Can you see the software?
It is not, moon thing is not on the website.
No. Can you see? Can you see what I'm showing? No,
No,
is it? Okay, you have a blank screen. Okay.
We're
Can you
still
not
see?
seeing the
sharing.
website. Now it is. Now we can see the screen.
Okay, I'm just toggling this up. Okay, if you go to strengths and you go to other strengths, there will be yogas listed here. Just show a list of supported yogas. It's a toggle here. Just see kemadruma yoga. Kemadruma yoga, 2nd and 12th from moon empty, sun exempt, Kendras empty, moon exempt. Unlucky, poor, and unintelligent. Okay, because if you are not following your father's profession, you will be sent out of your village. Okay, you are not regarded as a person at all. So you're unlucky. You will become poor. You're unintelligent because you don't fit into the society. Today, the world has changed. The more that you don't fit into the society, the more you have the out of box thinking. Okay, so the world has changed. However, the rider is, if you don't have planets, even in the Kendras from the Lagna as well, then that's a yoga that can lead into accidents, etc. You have to be very careful with such things. Or the person is born deficient of maybe, somebody does not have, fully, your kidney is not fully developed. Okay, so something like that. Or maybe some internal organ is not fully developed. And it comes into light maybe after 15 years or 16 years. I know a case where a boy did not have one of his kidneys developed. That came out after 20 years or so. I'm not saying he has a kemadruma yoga, but something of that sort may come up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is like the person will not have the resources, whether it be physical or monetary.
No. It does not mean that. I mean, if you're taking into today's world, this will not apply because you'll become an out-of-box fellow. You don't fit into the society easily.
Okay, this is a very good one.
Okay. So
Okay.
I'll give you an example of Einstein. Okay. Einstein, do you think is an intelligent man?
Yes, he is.
He's an intelligent man, right? So I'm not very sure if this belongs to Einstein or not. This came up as a forward or something. One day Einstein called a carpenter, okay, or a mason, and said, "Look, I need 2 holes in this wall." Carpenter said, "Why, sir? I have 2 cats. One is a big one. I need a big hole. I have a small one. I need a small hole." The carpenter said, "Why 2 holes? I'll drill a big one so that even the smaller cat can go through it." So sometimes the person may lack little common sense. Even this is possible. Usually you get to see this with scientists, right? They're too intelligent
Yes.
for 2 big things and they don't know the very obvious things.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I have read a story about him.
Yeah. This can be a
He
possible thing.
he was not able to pass his +2 or 10 class
I'm
exam.
not very sure if they're all true, but they run through the internet with different names. One they call
No,
it
it is not
Einstein.
on the internet. I read it in my curriculum in my school years. There was
Okay.
a story regarding Einstein and his sister.
Yeah.
So
He could not pass
his
the
sister,
English or he could not pass some
yes,
of the
because
subjects.
the curriculum at that time was not very scientific. It was very history oriented, and a lot of it was mugging it up and throwing it up in the exams. So after Einstein, all this science curriculum came into the schools and all. Before that, it was all art and humanities and all
Yeah, that's
that
what I
used to
said. So
dominate.
you don't fit into the society if you don't
Yes,
have planets.
exactly.
If you don't have planets before and after moon. I don't have planets before and after the moon.
And the guy also married. Oh, okay. Let's leave that.
Yeah, let's leave that. Yeah, I know where you're coming from. Even the
Okay.
Wikipedia says that.
Yes, but the thing which I mentioned, the story, I read it in my school curriculum book.
Okay.
So it is good, authentic.
Okay. Okay. Any more questions anyone has? I think we finished very early today. All right, let's take leave. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.